Coach, what stood out to you today, first day of camp?
I don't know if anything really stood out. I mean, the energy was great, which I thought it would be first day in camp. I wasn't really sure what to expect from our veterans, but they were really good today. Their energy was good, their focus. We competed a lot the second part of practice, and just overall really good energy from the young guys all the way through the vets, and guys were locked in. I think for me, it's a fine line of, yes, it's year 9 for me, and some of our guys have been here for a while. So you want to just think you can skip steps, but you can't do that. Making sure you stay true to the process, teach, get your reps in, correct things, and as always, I think you've heard me say it every year, Adam. Offensively, guys are playing way too fast. Got to slow down a little bit, but overall, really good first day camp.
Jokic is, a savant, a basketball savant. You got a lot of veterans, high-level veterans on the team. How do you get them to not skip steps when they can do basketball in their sleep?
Well, just by the drill work, the repetition. You know what I mean? Like, it would be really easy for me to say, well, we don't have to work on our shell drill because we won a championship. We don't have to work on this because, and that's never going to be the case. We're going back to our basics and building from there the core principles, the core foundation of what we do, and we expand on that as training camp goes, not just here in San Diego, but throughout the entirety of our preseason as we lead into our season opener against LA, I believe in 21 days. So I think it starts with me and my approach and making sure that all of our practices are built and structured in a way where we are demanding our guys to do the most basic things, repetition, repetition, repetition.
How do you, just generally prepare for, what's to come? Because, this is the first time you guys are actually going to be hunted from the rest of the league.
By working. By not skipping steps, by understanding that what happened last year is over. We can't live in the past. As great as it was, as historic as it was, the first one in 47 years, we all enjoyed it. I can't wait for opening night because once they raise that banner and we get those rings, now it's over. That puts the end of the last season, and it's a responsibility that we have. If we're going to try to be a team that can repeat, if we're going to try and be a team that can be a dynasty like Golden State, like San Antonio, we have to have a standard of excellence each and every day. And it's my job to make sure that we're living up to those standards and holding guys accountable when we're not.
How much can a full summer with your team, a training camp with your team, help a guy like Reggie, compared to when he just came in late last season?
Yeah, I think, Reggie was really good today. Reggie had a great offseason, was in our gym a ton, Harrison. And as I mentioned during media day, not just working on his own craft, but helping Jalen and Colin and Julian and Hunter and all the other young guys around. That's the kind of person and player that he is. But I think just from a comfort level, when you come into a team with maybe 25 games to go, learning a terminology, learning a philosophy, both offensively and defensively, that's hard. Good thing is that Reggie's a veteran, he's a pro, he's been around the block a few times, and but now having a training camp with us and being around the coaches for as long as he has been, that's only going to allow him to be that much more comfortable to go out there and run his team and to play and not to be thinking about what's the play call, what's our defensive coverage. He can just go out there and play his game. And I think the Reggie Jackson I've seen all summer long, I think he's more than ready to come in here and help this team coming off of our bench.
Coach, the team dinner last night, and just usually using that get together to set the tone for the season, how is it maybe different when you guys talk about heading into this season?
Well, the only thing that was different is that, this is the first time we talked about how to defend a championship. As we talk about, we have gone from being a team that's been hunting the teams above us to now there's a bullseye on our back every single night. So we talked about the responsibility, the expectations, and how we try to do something that no one's done since Golden State in 17-18. And I challenge our guys to be vocal, to hold themselves accountable, to hold their teammates accountable, to accept coaching, to accept criticism and accountability, because a lot of times that's hard, but we know that to repeat is going to be one of the hardest things we've ever done. And the interesting thing is I said, okay, how many dynasties have there been in the last 20 years? and they mentioned San Antonio, they mentioned Golden State. And I said the interesting thing for me with San Antonio, they never won back-to-back. But everybody considers them a dynasty because you knew what you were getting yourself into every time you played against San Antonio. That standard of excellence in everything they did. So, we just have to hold ourselves to a high standards. It was great to have certain guys step up and speak, when I was done. And I think our guys are excited to meet the challenge of taking everybody's best every night we go on that floor.
I guess you mentioned that replacing Bruce is sort of going to be a by-committee thing for your bench. But if Christian is potentially the first guy off that bench playing maybe the most comparable minutes, is there anything that you sort of want to see from him, his offensive game, to sort of step up from last year to match the defensive tenacity that you showed?
Yeah, CB is another guy that when I watched him in our gym, and he was the best player in our gym most days this summer. And just watching that confidence, that swagger that he had from the experience he went through last season in the playoffs, in the finals. Not many rookies have the impact that he did. So I want. When I think of Christian Braun, I think of energy, toughness, attack mindset. There's a lot of areas he can continue to improve upon, be more of a knockdown three-point shooter. But I also want him to continue to play with that attack mindset. One thing I told our guys last night. We're an elite paint team, and we were 4th in three-point field goal percentage, but we're like 20th in attempts. I still want us to play with an attack mindset, and Christian does that. In transition, in the half court, he puts a lot of pressure on the opposing defense. So I want Christian Braun to be Christian Braun. He's obviously going to be a really important piece coming off of that bench, and we need some other guys, ready to contribute off that bench along with he and Reggie and whoever else.
You guys are back in San Diego again. Do you think there's anything in particular about training here in San Diego that kind of set you guys up for success and got you guys on the right foot last season?
Yeah, well, it worked well last year. So we're hoping that the air, the water, the beach, whatever it might be, continues to be real positive for our group. But I think this is the 4th time we've had training camp in San Diego. 1 year at San Diego State, now 3 years here at UCSD. And for me, you just got to look around this gym. You have 5 full courts, which is 4 more than we have in Denver at the moment. So just to come out here and have all this space for 21 players in camp, and it doesn't hurt that we're staying at a beautiful hotel in a beautiful area of the country, and it just breeds a lot of positivity and allows our guys to come together. Training camp isn't just about what we do on the court. It's also about what we do off the court, and guys spending time with each other, I think is an invaluable part of us being a real family.
I was surprised to see your predecessor, Melvin Hunt, in the building today. What's your relationship to him, and what was the purpose of bringing him in today?
Oh, well, he's so Mel and I we worked together in Cleveland for 5 years with Mike Brown. So, Mel's like family. His son Miles was here. I love Melvin. It's obviously, I came in after the Brian Shaw, Melvin Hunt regime. But, when you spend 5 years with a coach like Melvin in Cleveland, we stay in touch. And he was in the area. I believe his wife Carmen has family in the area, and he asked if he could come by. And I always want to open up practices to any coach that wants to come in and watch. So, but yeah, Melvin was in the area and he wanted to come watch, and I'm glad he was able to do that and to reconnect with him.
Michael, what do you think with Nikola that he's done with his day-to-day that has helped him sustain that high level of play for so many seasons? And how do you think that applies to this upcoming year coming off the championship run?
Yeah, he's one of the more consistent players, I think, and for me, and not just that I've coached, but in recent NBA, especially for me, his level of excellence that he does every season, every night is just remarkable. I think it speaks to his work ethic. I don't think that gets talked about enough. And people think, oh, he's just a really gifted player. Nikola puts a lot of time into his body, his conditioning, his craft on the court, and that allows you to go out there and play at a high level. So for players like Nikola, who can go out there and do it at that level every night, it's a unique talent, but also a ridiculous work ethic that allows them to be at the top of their respective sport every single year. Thanks, everybody.